It's a podcast and it's a panel quiz. It's a video game pod quiz. It's Thursday the 8th of August and this is Level Up. In the best video game tradition, the aim is to gain experience and level up. XP is earned by answering questions correctly, being interesting or amusing, and generally appealing to my better nature. And while players can't lose XP, answering incorrectly, camping, or questioning my authority no matter how ill-informed or downright wrong I am, will see XP awarded to the other players. The winner will be the player who's reached the highest level come the end of the game. And what of our players themselves? All great games have memorable characters. Guybrush Threepwood, Max Payne, that guy from Infamous, and so do we. Welcome to David Brown.
Good evening.
Hany Gohary.
Hello.
And David Gower.
Hello.
We start with character creation, a chance for us to get to know our players. Hany Gohary is a former QA at Sega and a serial spell checker, who right now would be having palpitations if he knew I'd spelt cereal in the manner appropriate to accompany cornflakes. He now works in sat-nav development, as he likes nothing more than telling people where to go. You alright, Hany?
Yep, I'm well. How are you, Kev?
Not bad. Bit nervous. Been playing much?
I've mostly been playing Animal Crossing, as has everyone else who owns a 3DS.
That's not true. I own a 3DS and I'm not playing it.
Well, you're the odd one out.
I don't get it. I honestly don't get it. I tried the DS version.
Yeah.
And I just thought this is a complete waste of time.
All games are a waste of time, though. So it's just the whole point of the game.
Yeah. It is difficult to put your finger on what's special about it, but it is just a nice, calm and peaceful waste of time that's a bit different to all the killing and maiming in other games, I guess.
I do find it slightly weird that everyone seems to have jumped on it as a bandwagon, though. The industry is very much like this nowadays, where certain games just get pounced on and everyone seems to play it. Everyone's playing it, and then like a week later they move on to something else.
Yeah, that effect came along with MMOs a lot, though, a couple of years ago, where a new MMO would come out, everyone would play it for usually the free 30 days that were included, and then not bother to renew their subscriptions. Somehow Animal Crossing does keep you coming back. I think one of the secrets is the whole seasonal aspect, where you can't quite collect all the bugs and fishes, and basically that keeps you coming back. But somehow Nintendo mastered the art of releasing little colourful items, and possibly the sort of internet cat effect, where you'll basically see something and think, oh, that's impossibly cute, and have to have it. Maybe I just think like that. Never mind.
It doesn't have guns in it, though, does it?
It does have samurai swords. I think.
Oh, well.
Sometimes you might like to fantasize about, chopping other characters' heads off. And there are some interesting. You can now go around and basically visit other towns, and the Japanese. The game's been out in Japan since late last year, so they've been at it longer, and you can find some very creepy, sort of haunted towns almost. It's quite interesting. Basically, there's a lot in there. It's a lot to play around with.
Charles Bronson once said to a famous Swedish director, he couldn't understand how he could make films without guns in them. And I think I'm a bit like that sometimes when it comes to games. If it hasn't got a gun in it, I don't want to play it.
You either have a gun in your game or you wish you had a gun in the game.
Yes.
Currently pulling the days away at games journalist resource GamesPress, David Brown was the last man standing on legendary magazine that was PC Zone. A tear in all our eyes. He's written for PC Format, continued the Telegraph, BitTech and Play magazine, as well as having worked for the Press Association. And as we've established, he likes guns.
Guns, football, spherical objects, and many, 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 many games. Too many to list. But recently, I have been playing every single game that has Steam trading cards in it, or in them. If it's got trading cards, I will be playing it to collect those cards, essentially. So pick a game with trading cards, I'll have played it. Or look, I've even arranged my Steam library into all the games that have cards and all the games that don't have cards.
That's bordering on an obsession at this point.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a bit.
it is pretty bad. And I have every time I complete, time I get all the cards, the card drops for a game, I will remove it from that cards pending list.
Don't you feel cheap and dirty then?
Well, no, I don't. I barely paid for any of them, so it's all right. So it's
That
not too
somehow
bad.
makes it worse.
Yeah.
that makes it worse.
Yeah, Killing Floor was pretty cheap.
I can't. I don't know if I bought that. I have to say, it's the peril of the when you actually have a look at my account, it says 180 plus games, but when you actually look at the inside it says 1,500. So I've actually
Wow.
got 1,300 free games. That's not showing off. It's just that's what happens
Yeah,
when you
it's
get a press
the
account.
nature of the business.
Yeah.
I hate this whole trading card thing, but I don't like achievements in games either.
Oh, you're mad.
No, I think they take away. I generally think they take away from the game itself. The game is supposed to be about your experience, and particularly with the type of games I'm a fan of. I like the likes of Skyrim or Fallout 3. That immersion, this playing of a character, but I can't help myself that once I know there's an achievement for something, I think to myself, "Oh, I could do that," and that immediately takes me out of character.
I just don't like them popping up while you're playing. I mean,
Well, you can disable that.
oh, okay, fair enough.
Well,
But-
I don't mind them if
but
they're
the fact that
creative.
they're silly, yeah.
If they're creative and actually you killed yourself by some kind of crazy Rube Goldberg device by accident or something, you died because a horse kicked you off a mountain. If you get an achievement for that, so you can then say to your friends, "Look, I got this achievement because I'm a complete moron" or something. Then
See,
that's all right. But yeah,
I think too many of them are like, you have now
completed-
killed 10 enemies.
You have completed the tutorial. You press
Yeah.
W. Here is your achievement, and it's kind of
There are two
What's an
types of
Xbox One? Have an achievement.
There are two types of achievements. There are good and bad achievements, and which sounds really stupid and obvious, but the good ones, as you say, are the ones that encourage exploration. They encourage you to do things you wouldn't normally do. Like you say, there's in Rise of the Triad, which is an awful game.
that made me weep.
Yeah, it's just appalling. But anyway, in that one, I shot some barrels and they exploded and hurt me, and I got an achievement for hurting myself. That's a good achievement
That's
because
okay.
I didn't know that was going to come up. I could have studied the list, seen that was on the list, and then done it, which I did do because there's one for you play it on maximum graphics settings and you get an achievement. But
Wow.
yeah, and there is because all I did was I loaded the game up for a second time with the max, got the achievement, and then went out again straight away, and then deleted it. And then there's bad achievements, like you say. The ones that say kill 25,000 enemies. And Rise of the Triad again, I'll pick on that. Every single weapon, there's an achievement for killing 666 enemies with that weapon.
Oh,
And
God.
you'd have to be
But you like
insane.
Do you
I
lose
do
the
like
achievement
guns.
once
I
you've
do like
killed
guns, but
67?
not. Pardon?
Do you lose the achievement once you've killed more than that? Do you have to stop? as
That
soon
would
as
be
you've got the
interesting, but no, I don't think so. Once you've got it, it's there. But they're the bad achievements, and that's the thing. Good achievements encourage you to play outside the box, as it were. Which sounds hideous, but anyway, let's leave that in. And then the hideous grindy achievements, they should be got rid of. Cool achievements left in.
Yeah. No, again, much as I don't like achievements, I can go along with that. I mean, one thing I always think of when it comes to achievements, I remember having a discussion with some guy who would obsess about getting his platinums and his trophies on his PS3. It was all about, he got a game, he had to 100% it, he had to get every trophy, whether he hated the game or not. If he'd bought it, if he'd played it, he had to be a complete completionist with it. And at one point, I was talking about how the fact that I'm not a fan of the Wipeout games. I think they're okay. It looked great, but as a game, wasn't a fan. And he turned around to me and asked me what was wrong with me, because he remembers when I used to play games for fun. And I just thought, you obsess and you go on Twitter and you call Ubisoft all the names under the sun because you can't get this platinum, and you're accusing me of not playing for fun. And it just...
Everyone's got
people
their
who
own
go
definition
after
of-
achievements.
Everyone has their own definition of fun, though, and some people's definition of fun is getting all the achievements. There are websites. There was a website, I can't remember the name of it.
I
but there
know
was a
people who
PS3
write
one.
for them. PS3 PS3trophies.org, I think
That's
is
the
one.
one, yeah, where they
And
have they rank them all by difficulty.
Xbox 360 achievements. I know someone who writes for those websites, and good guy. And he writes. They're not just about achievements and stuff. They are about brackets journalism. But well, the reviews and stuff. You know, I can't claim to be any better than that. That's what I did.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that there is a difference in that in console achievements and Steam achievements, because remember PC owners have a lot more games, so therefore don't obsess about the achievements so much because there are so many more. You just couldn't possibly do them. And we have hundreds of indie games. You see, my official total on Steam is 180 something. There are loads of people who have more than me, hundreds more than me. Someone even 1,000 more. But so he's never going to get all those achievements. But a console owner quite often has a scattering of games because they'll cost so much traditionally.
Yeah.
So they are able to put the time in to get those big achievements. So it means more to them.
Yeah, I suppose, yeah. If you've paid 40 quid for Skyrim, you're going to want to absolutely max out on everything. Whereas if you've picked it up in a Steam sale for a £5, it's not such a biggie.
And you probably have about you probably frequent forums where you've talked about games. And you say, "Oh God, I've got my to play list," and you don't generally have that.
Which sits in the hundreds.
Yeah, you don't generally have that on the console so much for your average gamer.
Well,
Because they don't spend so much. They spend money. They spend lots of money on games, but they don't have as many.
No, well, you also have this thing where, with the whole pre-owned ideal you've got with people with console games as well, it helps to have this kind of cutoff of this is when I stop playing the game, and it's when I've got all the achievements, I'm therefore effectively done with this game, or can be done with this game, and I can go trade it in and get a new game. Well, that's depressing. There you go.
And on that depressing note,
Yes.
David Gower has worked as a software engineer and programmer at EA and Codemasters. He occasionally casts games of StarCraft 2 and Supreme Commander, and he is currently available for freelance work and children's parties.
That's a lie, by the way. I don't do any freelance
You're not available
work.
for freelance.
No freelance.
So, spending time with EA, officially the worst company in the world?
To work for, they're quite nice. Every company's got crunch. It's just, and they all handle it in different ways. I mean, wherever I've been, there's always been some kind of like, oh, you're just dicking me around. But it happens. You know,
That's what companies are. They
Yes.
just do that.
Yeah. So I mean, I've done my fair share of crunch. I've done my 80-hour weeks. I've done 42 days of extra work for a game. It happens. But I mean, if you enjoy it like I do, it doesn't feel that bad. And as long as you can see the progress in what you're doing, as long as you come into work in the morning, if it's 6 o'clock in the morning, and as long as you come home from work at 4 o'clock the next morning or whatever, as long as you've seen that time you've been at work, you have done something, and there's a difference in your system between the time you leave and the time you come in the following. No, wait a second. The time you come in the morning and the time you leave, then it's okay. And you don't feel like you're just wasting your life away.
So you
That's
work
one
on a
of the
game.
reasons.
Sorry. You can.
I was going to
Let's
say
edit
just
that bit out.
about the Ubisoft delaying Rayman Legends on the Wii U to sort of have it released at the same time as the other consoles. And apart from obviously the fanboys and everyone being, I'm one of them, but anyway, fanboys being annoyed about it not coming out anytime soon, I felt that would have sort of deflated the atmosphere in the office for the developers themselves, who were kind of anticipating the release, and basically energy would have been high up until that point. And if I were in the office at the time, I could imagine like the mood just kind of going down sort of tangibly.
It can be like that, yeah. It depends on why it was, if it was delayed simply due to the fact to make it come out at the same time rather than it's simply not ready.
Yeah, I mean,
It
I
depends.
understand the developers wouldn't have heard at the same time they released the press release, but inevitably when you start hearing rumors and then you're sort of taken into a meeting or whatever, or you're told, by the way, we're not releasing this for another several months, that kind of feeling you were talking about, if you're going in, you're working crunch hours or long hours and feel it's going to be all worthwhile in the end, you have a sort of end goal in sight, and then the goalposts are moved, and it just kind of depresses you slightly.
It can be like that, yeah. If you've done a lot of crunch and suddenly the project's been delayed, I think there was one on EA that was like that. I'd done crunch on it for 6 months, and they said, by the way, we're delaying this for a year. And and then after that, they put me onto a different project that was on crunch. And then that was kind of like, oh, you really? But
Yeah.
it was
No rest for the wicked. Yeah.
yeah, that wasn't so good.
So
But
what element of the games do you do?
I
Design, engineering, whatever it
started
was.
as a UI developer, so user interface development. So writing back-end systems for UIs, but I've
Okay.
since moved to kind of a lower level systems. I write the interface layers for save systems. I also do a lot of the work that sometimes people don't think is actually on a game. Things like
Menus.
not so much that it's
menus.
actually physically outside of the game. So it's things like making sure the game always runs. So you've got people working in various code streams off of the mainline stream, and we need systems in place so that people, you have someone who's working on a feature for a game, and then they want to check it into the source control thing and just get it back into mainline so people can start using it. But when it's released cross-platform on 3 or 4 separate platforms, it's a pain in the ass to build it for each platform and test it on each configuration of each platform. So this does that for them. That kind of stuff. So so I do some of that, and then I do some kind of lower level save system stuff. And
So what games did you work on? Are you allowed to say?
yes, I worked at EA. EA I worked on 2 games that were never made, and Burnout Paradise and Burnout Dominator, the second PSP one. At Codemasters, I've done the trifecta of awesome, which was Operation Flashpoint, Dragon Rising, Operation Flashpoint, Red River, and F1 Race Stars.
Okay. I was going to go because I was hoping one of those games I would have played that I remember the UI being rubbish or something, so I could criticize it. But apart from Operation Flashpoint, Dragon Rising, kicking you out of co-op games all the time. I think you were there in one of those games, were you, Kevin? Was I playing with you?
Not in Dragon Rising, I don't think. I don't think I played Dragon Rising. That was the last one, wasn't it? Dragon Rising.
That was the first
No, Red River was the
Red River.
was the second
In that
one.
case, yes, Dragon Rising I have.
Yeah.
Sorry, it all blazed into one.
Yeah.
Okay, time for our first quiz element.
Oh, I forgot we were doing that.
Yeah.
It was a nice friendly chat up until this point.
Yeah. Now we get competitive with round 2, which is the round based on a roundup of all the news that's been doing the rounds. So it's probably unsurprising that we rounded on calling this round the news rectangle. There are 6 imaginary boxes for the players to select from, which will lead to a question rooted in a news story from the past 7 days. David G, we'll start with you. Pick a number from 1 to 6.
4.
Which video game character is 30 this week? Or maybe next week? Or possibly 2 months ago?
Oh, wasn't it Mario? Mario's 30, isn't he? No, he had an anniversary. It wouldn't probably not 30. What was? So I'm gonna think of a game that was released in 1983.
Pretty much, yeah.
Can we buzz in?
Good luck with that.
Yes.
Yeah, buzzing in now.
Yeah. I'm not gonna be able to answer that question. So.
Is it Zelda?
It's not Zelda
No,
either.
I don't know
no.
anything about Nintendo games.
It might not be. It could have been.
Oh, actually, I need to help.
Go on, Hany.
Was it Sonic?
It's not Sonic either. You're all too new.
Rubbish.
Oh, bloody hell.
You're all too new.
We're all too new.
It's
Is it
the answer.
is it something like Jet Set Willy or?
It is. It's Minor Willy.
Oh, I was right.
This-
Yes.
Yes.
Booyah,
This
again.
year,
Oh, well done.
this year is the 30th anniversary of the release of the classic platformer Manic Miner for the ZX Spectrum. Though its actual release date has been lost in the mists of time, so this week, Elite Systems have offered, in quotes, goodies in exchange for information leading to the exact date of release. So, we can put the call out there. If anybody should happen to be able to identify the release date, like, say, the game's creator Matthew Smith, they can email paperboy@elite-systems.co.uk.
I never had.
So
I never had a ZX Spectrum.
that's genuinely sad.
It is.
Me neither. So,
My
I get
mum
some
was a
sympathy.
teacher, so I had a BBC instead, one of those BBC keyboardy things.
Oh dear.
I had an ITV one, but that wasn't as good. Kept putting adverts halfway through the games.
Oh.
Hany,
Yes.
pick a number from 1 to 6, excluding
6,
4.
please, Kevin.
Number 6. Okay. Which Kickstarters got an elite payment in store credit this week as compensation for the kick in the privates they got back in June?
I know the answer to this. It's the Ouya.
It is, isn't it? Care to elaborate?
No.
Well, basically, yes, they've been given the what was it? It was hit by delays for some of the backers who got their consoles after the people had actually purchased it. I think there were extra controllers they were supposed to send out, weren't sent out, and basically it launched and was underwhelming as I thought it would be, and was accused of being cynical and not being open to new ideas or etc. when the Kickstarter was out. Everyone's going to get a store credit of $13.37,
Oh,
which
what?
I only recall because my memory is stupidly accurate, and I just read it about an hour ago. So
It was also in the
That's
question as well.
research. That is research. That is.
So yeah, I mean the Ouya's, I always thought it would be underwhelming, and the Kickstarter basically was announced and had a very flashy video, but its release date was around 6 months away, I think, from when the Kickstarter was held and was announced. And I mean, Android phones and stuff, you get a new one every 3 to 6 months. So I knew by the time it was out, the hardware would be not old, but mid-range. And I think they've already said, as have several other Android console manufacturers, that they're going to have a new version each year. So I just don't see it replacing traditional consoles, shall we say.
Yeah,
I
one
was
of
thinking
the,
a large
I'm
dent.
inclined to agree everything about it. It just seems it's one of those questions. Why? What point do you think this is a good idea? And the fact that people have backed it, you just think there's a lot of gullible people in the world.
oh,
I
yeah.
always thought that
People with more money than sense, yeah.
Yeah.
I always thought that it was a product of a meeting where you got these people around the table, and the head of the meeting, or the person who ultimately makes the decision, is really posh, and they say we've got
What
this
should we
really
call
good
it?
we've got this really good idea for a console, and it's gonna be and then the guy goes, oh yeah, and then they got the name from that.
Oh.
That's what I
One of
thought.
my
But that might not be true. But
and like
it was on
they
feature
had
24/7. So.
a game called Vector was on it. The one where you you spend your entire time running, and then you have to press buttons to jump over things.
There are no games that involve that mechanic. No games out there are called endless runners now. I know they're just. I don't believe it. There aren't enough.
No, there aren't enough. But this one had slowdown in it. Like you've written it for this box, this tiny thing that looks like it's a replacement part for a sofa, and
Extra sofa leg. Yeah.
and it slows down on the levels when the little birds fly away. Like, who wrote this and why? So
Those
yeah,
birds have got of extra polygons. They forgot to take out.
they got proper avian physics.
Mm.
Right. Yes, this is the story that those who didn't get their tiny box of disappointment when it appeared in store shelves have been given $13.37 in Ouya Discovery store credit. With only 27% of Ouya owners reportedly having bought a game through the service, Ouya CEO Julia Ehrman is hoping this credit will spare some store activity before users return to downloading emulators and ROMs. David B.
Yes.
You're up next. Pick a number between 1 and 6.
1.
Who's hoping virtual reality headsets aren't doomed?
Is it id Software?
Not quite.
Because I have no idea. Because so I don't.
Help!
I prepared. Oh no, hang on. I prepared for this topical news quiz by not paying any attention to any news this week. So I don't know. Sorry.
Can I
You
buzz
said
in
Doom,
now?
so you can now. I'll let you answer. Go.
Okay, John Carmack.
Oh, he counts as id. Well, you've got to give me half
Not
a
really,
point
because
for
he's
that.
still he's
is
working
there,
at Oculus Rift and still working at id Software. He's just really excited about the Oculus Rift, so decided to join them as the chief technical officer, I think.
Oh,
So yeah, he's going to be working
I
at
follow him on
both
Twitter
places.
as well.
And it was hilarious to watch the news come up. I think it was someone linked me to I thought somewhere like Polygon or somewhere like that, where they posted a story saying sort of breaking news: Carmack leaves id to join Oculus Rift, and I just went, that's not going to happen. And then there's sort of 3 or 4 updates coming up saying, oh, hold on, Bethesda has said he's not leaving, and then him updating his own like Twitter account and blog or something saying, I'm still staying here and there, and I'm just going to be spending some time with Oculus Rift, aside from his other projects. I think he's into, is it sort of amateur rocket launchers or something? Sorry, rocket launchers sounds wrong. The kind of rockets that launch into space rather than...
Yeah, I think he worked towards doing that one.
He's rocket jumping into space.
Yeah, pretty much perfect. This is the story that John Carmack has joined Oculus VR as their Chief Technology Officer. Carmack, co-founder of id Software, has been at the forefront of games technology and revered since his work on Doom, and helped promote Oculus's Kickstarter when he was seen enthusiastically using a prototype device at E3 in 2012. Spokesperson for Bethesda, id's parent company, claimed that Carmack's work with id would be unaffected by his new role with Oculus, because to suggest otherwise could really have a negative impact on their share price. Right, so we're back to David G.
2, please.
2. Who's finding themselves having to front up to the Russians?
What? What? I can't even think of something clever for that. That's really unfortunate. The only thing I know about Russia in the news is not remotely video game related.
Well, there's if it's an Olympic question, they always have a game about the Olympics.
Yeah, there's usually Mario and Sonic.
Well, Sega did an official Olympics game this year.
Did they?
I have that, in fact.
Wow.
But yeah, that's a sort of fun fact you can get on this show.
Yeah, I don't know. The only
Well,
Russian news I can think of is that a Brazilian magazine had on its cover apparently Vladimir Putin snogging Edward Snowden.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, and
Wow.
yeah, that's probably not it. Is that?
One for the bank.
But it's a good thought.
It's lovely.
No, I'm bad.
I take it no one's got any.
I'm trying to think of a pun on front. Like, what would front mean? I mean, front.
I'm guessing it's something to do with Russian front, but I don't know how that word just flashed in my head, or 2 words, but I don't know how that leads into news.
Yeah.
Is there a game about vodka?
Unity's the closest development studio I know to Russia.
No, okay, I'm going to have to tell you that, aren't I?
Yes.
This is Sega and Relic Entertainment. Following news that 1C Soft Club, their Russian distributor, has withdrawn Company of Heroes 2 from sale, and over 18,000 people have signed a petition asking Valve to also withdraw the game from digital distribution in the former Soviet states on the basis that it misrepresents the Russian forces' actions in their conflict with the Nazis on the Eastern Front during World War II.
How does it misrepresent it? Does it show them winning early on? Because that would be misrepresented.
I don't have a copy of the petition in front of me, unfortunately. I probably should have done, shouldn't I? I think basically it claims evil. A lot of what they're complaining about is stuff we've already seen in games in the past. Was it Call of Duty 2 when you played as part of the Russian front and one of you had the gun and one of you had the bullets, and if you tried to go backwards you were shot?
The first game, that was the first game, because that actually, maybe that's an urban myth, but I seem to recall that being fairly true. I mean, I might be wrong, but yeah,
But
you had to pick up bullets. You had a gun, but you had to pick up bullets off someone who died, or you had bullets, but you had to then pick up a gun off a dead body, because they just didn't have enough. But that could just be one of those fanciful stories that they've made into a game.
Well, I mean, you've seen Enemy at the Gates had that. I had to say that about 4 times. I apologise.
It's a film.
Yeah, it's true.
So, you know.
You're gonna make Jude Law look like a good sniper.
U-571 had American sailors on a British U-boat, which, and that sort of thing. So, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I've
it,
not played Company Heroes 2, so, and I obviously wasn't at the Eastern Front during World War II, so I'm unfortunately not in a position to comment on the accuracy of either.
Well, you're not much of a host, are you?
No. No.
You should have gone back in time.
I can only
verify the story.
apologise. Hany,
Yes.
You have 3 and 5 left.
5.
5. Who might be hacked off and having a bit of a crisis?
Crytek. that was partially a guess.
That's a pretty good
yeah,
one. See, the clues in the question.
How did he get that question? I got a clue about Russians in World War II. This is horrific.
Because 5 is
I'm
better
his
than
favourite.
2.
I am the worst at picking numbers, I tell you what.
Oh, this is all a numbers game, really. Yeah. But yeah, I don't think I particularly read into the story much. I see too many hacking stories, and if I read them all, I'd have to keep changing my passwords on an hourly basis. So yeah, that was mostly a guess. Maybe I can get half a point for that or something.
I'm just surprised no one's been able to hack my password yet, which is just 1, 2, 3, 4. Uppercase, of course.
No, yeah, absolutely right. Again, Hany, this is the news that Crytek took some of their sites offline following suspicious activity. Crytek.com, mycryengine.com, crydev.net and mycrisis.com all experienced a security breach that could have compromised users' login information.
I do know that Apple's developer site possibly had a hacking attempt as well, but that...
Is that a bonus points?
I don't know.
Told
This
about
isn't QI, is it? Never mind.
No.
The question for that might have been who might be hacked off to their core.
You're good at this.
I'll see what we did there.
David Brown for our last one.
Well, I don't know which one to pick.
Well, you've only got 3 left, so it's going to be 3.
3 then, yeah, go on then. No, 4. No, 5, sir. No, 3.
You'll like this one. Who's having their payday a week early?
Is that people who bought Payday 2, pre-ordered it, and they're getting it early or something? Is that completely wrong?
No.
Right.
But you're very close.
Can I make a noise? Hang on.
Of course you can.
There we go. That's my buzzer for the day.
Lovely.
It's not very quick, so...
Well, this is really hard. I'm really bad at smartphones, okay? It's just...
okay.
As a developer, I am terrible. No. Payday has Payday is like broken even before it's ever been released. I believe is a new story. It's managed to about a week before. I guess it's a week before it goes like officially on Steam. All the pre-orders have meant that it's actually bringing in a profit.
Does that mean that when the game finally comes out, and all the people who are supposed to be stealing those money go, well, we've probably done all right here, lads. Then let's go home. That's the first level. You just go home. We don't need to.
It turns into anymore. Animal Crossing at that point.
Yeah, but with guns, so I'll play it.
Yeah. It has guns. It's going to be okay.
All the animals are crossing the road. Actually, I don't know anything about the game, so I assume that you cross the road with animals.
There is a railway, yeah. So.
And you gun them down, and steal their money.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's. I play that.
You play that. Cool.
I play that in real life.
Animal Crossing. That's amazing.
Animal Crossing Extreme.
That could bring more people in.
Yep.
Not that they need more people in. I mean, Nintendo got more money than Apple probably, haven't they? No, probably not. But they have lots of money.
Yeah, it's
they're comfortable. Yeah.
Comfortably well
off. They can
off.
afford to release a console which is dead. Ready.
The Dreamcast 2 coming soon from Nintendo.
Yeah, exactly.
Wii
U Dreamcast edition. No, Wii U. Now it's a different color edition.
Yeah. Well, they could do like the Dreamcast, so you have the TV controller with the smaller TV controller in it.
Yeah, it's like a big Dreamcast, basically. Well, the controller.
But yes, this is the news that Starbreeze Studios, the developers of Payday 2, have announced that pre-orders have covered the publisher 505 Games investments, and the game is already in profit despite still being a week away from its PC, Xbox 360 and PS3 launch.
That's good news, because usually 505 games are not the best. So it's good.
Yeah, they haven't got a good track record.
It's like Calypso. They don't necessarily release. They try hard, and that's all you can really say without getting the lawyers involved.
I mean, the curious thing about this, though, I mean, because I hate pre-orders. Although, at least in this case, you pre-order, you just pre-ordering the game. I hate pre-order incentives because they'd actually de-incentivize me, particularly on a big game that you know is going to have DLC release for it, and they're releasing the game. They want you to pre-order it. You get a bonus for pre-ordering it. Plus, they want you to buy the season pass as well because they're going to release all this DLC throughout the year. I sit there and think, bollocks! I'll buy the Game of the Year edition in 12 months' time.
You know, the worst thing about the pre-order stuff is that you guys probably won't ever see this, but if you have, as you say, press versions, or you just get them added to your Steam Press account or whatever, you get sometimes you get pre-order stuff. Sometimes you don't. It's completely random. For Square Enix did this with No, they didn't do Mafia 2, did they? But anyway, Mafia 2 is one, and then Deus Ex: Human Revolution was another. You got the sort of pre-order weapons right at the start of the game. So
I remember that. It was dumb. You were in a helicopter, yeah, and you could just
hardcore sniper rifle, and you have this really hardcore shotgun. So I left them behind because I was thinking, this is stupid. It's just I'll wipe the floor with everyone right from the beginning because I've got the best gun, or a really good gun. And in Mafia 2, you had the made man outfit right at the beginning. So you were a made man before you even joined the Mafia. So that is stupid. That is stupid.
Absolutely.
Pre-order DLC. It's not like a TF2 hat or something, which is completely irrelevant. This is actually something that you can go around dressed as a mob boss before you've even met anyone in the mob, which is... And my one was pink as well. So...
What, your made man suit?
My made man, I dyed it pink. Yeah, so I was a left-leaning mafioso.
I would have been happier if your sniper rifle was pink. That would have been much better.
I don't know if you can you. Oh, then whatever.
No, you can't. I really doubt you're able to, spray paint your sniper rifle.
Yeah,
don't give them ideas. The next Deus Ex will just have a pink sniper rifle. Yeah.
Well, it's on tablets, so they could probably do it as like some kind of microtransaction thing.
Yes.
Again, I'm probably going to come across as a right grump here, but the whole idea of customization of characters as well, just don't care. I really
fail
don't
at
care.
Any game that requires you, even like MMOs, like Guild Wars and stuff, anytime I have to build an avatar, 95% of the time, I'll just make myself.
Have you never played a Tiger Woods game?
Probably not.
Have any of you, one of you must have played a Tiger Woods game at some point.
No, I worked for EA.
Yeah.
I never played a Tiger Woods game.
Play a Tiger Woods game and create your own ludicrous character with wearing a bunny suit, or my character in Tiger Woods 10 has a pink bunny suit on, and he dances around on the green when he sinks a birdie putt. So character customization when done well, when it's funny, yes, that's really good, because you can actually have you laughing at the game, at a golf game. So,
yeah, but you see, therein lies the problem. To get to that point, you've got to play a golf game.
But there are lots
like
of other
golf
games where you can make the game fun. Simply by, Dead Rising 2 has a Dead Rising. They have the whole premise is dressing yourself up. Now, yes, that's not character creation. That's different. But the idea is the same. Is that you have this base character, you have this base thing, and you make the game funny by making dress up with a blanker head on and a tutu. It's funny. It just changes the game completely. The game would be boring without it. And a lot of games without character creation, which allow you to do silly things, would be very, very dull.
See, I think therein lies the problem with the game then. If it's the character creation part of it, this is the fun bit, then the game's shit.
It makes the game fun. It's like that is part of the game.
Nah, but the game shouldn't need it to be fun. The game should be fun in and of itself. It's fine to have that character customization stuff is fine as a bonus for those people who want to do that. But if the game's relying on that to make the game fun,
well, it's probably overstating it to say it's not fun completely without that, but it makes the game a bit more fun.
As you're the character,
more fun.
As you are supposed to be this character, it can be quite of a refreshing way to play the game. I am Frank West or whatever, and I'm killing zombies so I can help my girl, some kind of small kid with some drugs or whatever it was. I forget what it was actually the point of Dead Rising. Yeah. There was just I shot zombies in a mall. That was pretty much, and I occasionally made random cocktails. But I mean, when you can then make the character completely, you can just juxtapose the character with the situation it's in. I'm killing zombies and I've got, a giraffe's head on and, a random dress. Then it alters the frame of reference of the player of the games like so significantly. It's almost like playing a different game at that point because the tone is so different.
It'd be like playing Left 4 Dead and then finding a clothing shop. So and then suddenly you're all dressed up as clowns or American football players or ballerinas or something. Imagine Coach as a ballerina. Suddenly the game is totally different.
Fair enough, you got me on that one.
It changes the context of it totally. And I would actually play that if someone made a mod.
Yeah, no, fair. Yeah, I'll defer to you there.
But
yeah,
technically that's not character creation though. But
no, but
Same
it's not
sort
so
of
much
thing.
character creation, it's
Customization,
character
yeah.
customization.
Yeah.
Like people who obsess over painting their cars a certain color in racing games, and it's just can't be bothered. Rather just get into the game.
I have loads of girls' wigs in Animal Crossing that I like to put on.
You know, when I edit it, I might take out the Animal
I was
Crossing
just
bit.
going to say that. I'm glad you said.
I thought there was more a case of I have lots of girls' wigs I like to put on while playing Animal Crossing. My kind of character customization.
Yeah. Oh dear. Round 3 is the retro round, where our players buzz in to answer questions about gaming's past. This week we're going back to 1999, that being the year when the greatest video game of all time was released, a sequel to a genre-defining, if underperforming, original. A spectacular game of mystery, exploration and adventure, of action and of consequence. I am of course talking about Nancy Drew, Stay Tuned for Danger, the follow-up to 1998's Nancy Drew's Secrets Can Kill. So players, let's hear your buzzers. I'll start with David G. Lovely. David B. And Hany.
Help!
Quality.
The worst buzzer ever.
Absolutely.
This is quick.
You could just. Why don't you just go buzz or something?
Probably won't hear me.
Buzzer. Maybe that's true.
I like it. Okay. Here we go. Remember, it's all about 1999. Buzz in when you know the answer. This classic cyberpunk RPG saw an amnesiac soldier awakening to find he'd been upgraded with cybernetic implants and his shipmates host to a parasitic life form known as the Many.
Wow, we're good at this.
I know this, but I can't think. So carry on.
Oh dear.
Help.
dear.
I'm
Hany?
going to guess. Was it called Chaser or something like that?
No, it wasn't that.
No, it wasn't that one. That was later.
No, that was an FPS.
Oh my.
It wasn't.
Well.
Oh, bloody hell!
Okay, it is. In all seriousness, it is the greatest game ever made.
Was it that? Was it made by Origin?
No.
Shit. No, I haven't got it then. I know it. I know it.
The shame. If nothing else, when I put this up online, we should become infamous for the shame alone.
I know this. I know it. No.
Yes, and so you should.
It's
The
still allowed to
answer.
I'm not
guess,
telling you
but-
what it is.
Go on. Anyone want to jump in?
System Shock 2?
It is System Shock 2,
Oh
Hany.
my god! How do we know?
I've
I
hardly
just
played any of it, which is the only reason that was a guess.
I was thinking that was
Oh.
too easy.
Yes,
I
God.
thought it must have been something
Nothing's ever
else.
too easy. Nothing's ever too
I
easy.
thought it was earlier than 1999, to be honest.
Yeah, I thought System Shock 2 was 98 or 97.
97 or something, yeah. I thought,
Yeah,
but
that's
no,
why I didn't get it. That's why I didn't get it because I got the year wrong.
You thought it was older than it was.
yeah, 'cause I
my-
definitely thought it was earlier.
Do you know the worst thing?
Oh man, it was August 11th, 1999.
Do you know the worst?
I like how it was released 2 months ago for OS X.
Yeah. Do you know the worst thing about this? I
Go on.
played it last week for the trading cards.
Terrible. You've let yourself down with
I
your
have.
trading card obsession.
Yeah.
I know. It's because I idled it and I never actually looked into the game. But never mind. Sorry. Continue.
Oh
Yeah.
wow, I apologise, Internet.
Staying with System Shock 2, who was the rogue AI antagonist?
I know.
I pressed the wrong one.
Well, I
It's
guess
fatality for that one.
Is this the obvious answer? Would be Showdown.
Showdown, yes, but
Yeah, but it wasn't. Showdown wasn't revealed at first, was it? Because at first it was something else. It was Xerxes at first, wasn't it?
So what's your answer?
Well, I mean, it is Showdown.
Who was the rogue AI antagonist?
Showdown was the answer, but she hid herself at the beginning, and you didn't know she was the voice of that doctor, and then Xerxes was the AI of the ship, but it was actually her all along, or something like that.
No, Xerxes was the ship's.
Yeah, AI, wasn't it?
Yeah. Showdown
Was the rogue.
was the rogue AI.
Yeah, but I think wasn't it? They were
That's
both
because-
the same, but there was also some complex mind. Are we allowed to swear?
we have been swearing.
Okay, it's a complex
Have we?
mind fuck with your character, because she was pretending to be a doctor and she wasn't. Like in, but I know it's Spoiler City now, aren't we?
For a game that was
For a
released.
game released in 1999, I don't think you got too much
Yeah,
to worry
well,
about.
because I was
Not
going
likely to
to.
I
say
never
it's
played
so.
System Shock 2, but I mean, it's
I was going to spoil
Bioshock.
Bioshock as well, so because it's the same bloody thing. But because of you get betrayed in that by someone pretending to be something, and then blah blah blah. Same thing as System Shock 2. But anyway, I got the answer right. Let's carry on. I put my
Yes,
my buzzer
Showdown.
away from me, so I had to get it to bring it back to ring.
I had to unlock my phone so that I could press.
That's yeah. Okay.
Yeah, again, ill thought out buzzers, I think.
Oh, bless. And again, still with System Shock 2. Who developed the game? Dave B again.
Looking Glass Studios.
Looking Glass and Irrational. Yes, that's correct. Very good. Marvellous. Okay, moving away from System Shock 2 now. Released, again, still in 1999. Released on PC and PlayStation, Soul Reaver was the second in which series?
Is it like
Dave B again.
Kane? Is it?
Damn.
Legacy of Kain it is, yes. Very good.
That name flew out of my mind the second you asked the question.
was camping there beforehand.
Yes, he's waiting and then right, I'm off. Bam. Hold on. He needs me now. I've been in his mind for 10 years. And he's always there. Every time there's a question about a game, Legacy of Kain comes out. But now he needs me. Right, I'm off ski.
Brilliant. Two high-profile arena-based first-person shooters went head-to-head. Name them.
Help.
Oh,
Annie.
Toasty wins. Not Toasty wins. Help wins. Sorry.
Help did win.
Sorry, Quake 3 and Unreal Tournament.
That's absolutely correct, yes.
Which one was better?
Unreal
It's like
Tournament.
Unreal Tournament.
Of course.
So an interesting bit of that you probably already know, PC Zone trivia is that I think it didn't talk to a PC Zone for 2 years because they gave Quake 3 not 89 and they gave Unreal
89,
Tournament 90.
I remember the scores, yeah.
Yeah,
I think they were fair as
probably
well.
knew that already, but
I'm pretty sure there were letters pages about that, like people
Oh, yeah.
writing in. Yeah.
Now a multi-million unit selling franchise, back in 1999, we saw the first beta of this Half-Life mod.
is it Natural Selection? No.
Now, actually,
No, I know what it is.
David G
Did he get in first?
was in slightly ahead
know
of you
what it
Oh,
there.
well, that's good because you said natural selection, and now I'm really confused. I think. I mean, I played Counter-Strike before 1999, so I don't think it's that. So it must be Team Fortress Classic. But Team Fortress Classic came from a Quake mod, so maybe that's not the case. Now I'm just continuing to talk. So
Is he giving an answer? Because I can give an answer.
probably you might be able to give a better answer. It's probably slightly
Well,
Counter-Strike.
definitive.
Counter-Strike.
I think
it is Counter-Strike, yeah.
I'm pretty
You
confident.
didn't say it. You didn't give the answer.
Yes, but I said I don't think it is Counter Strike.
So you definitely didn't get a Counter-Strike. It is.
Because Dave G there said that he.
Didn't
Sorry, I'm
think it
banging
was.
my mic here. He'd played Counter-Strike before
But I
1999,
guess I
which.
didn't.
Well, you may have done, but you may have played the alpha.
Oh, I, like,
The first beta was released in June 1999.
I remember playing like 0.3 when the gun stayed on the ground. That was really stupid because you'd win around and you just pick up the gun you just dropped.
Mm. So unless they were early versions of it, I'd say, I mean,
No, I could.
maybe my research is completely wrong, or
No,
maybe
no.
I've dropped the bollock on
It,
this
it
one.
does sound fairly good.
It does sound
Yeah.
fairly good. And then I just remembered that Half-Life did come out in 1998, so
I think you're correct.
yeah.
That makes sense. I don't know why I said natural selection. It's stupid to say that.
It's all right.
Doesn't count because
I've lost which one of you actually got that one right. Then who do I
Well,
give that to?
The other David said it wasn't Counter-Strike, and I said it was.
I used the word count.
I think Dave B gets it just
Yeah,
by a
he-
hair.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Mm.
by
Especially
virtue of me
if it's-
saying it's definitely not the answer.
Yeah.
It's usually a subtle
Fair
problem when answering a question to say it's not the right answer.
Right. This Nintendo 64 third-person platforming shooter was developed by Rare and featured fraternal twins Juno and Vela, along with their dog Lupus, in a quest to defeat the insect tyrant Mizar and his hordes while rescuing a race known as the Tribals.
Help. Ah.
Okay, I know it.
Okay.
Go on, Dave. Pete.
Pass.
Ah.
Eh?
I don't know the answer. Carry on.
All right.
Were you just doing that because the minute he
Yes.
started talking,
Yeah.
you knew I was waiting for him to finish before I said
Yes,
help?
I did.
Jet
yeah.
Force
You
Gemini.
don't have to wait for me to finish. You can jump in at any point. But yes,
Okay,
Jet
Jet
Force
Force
Gemini is exactly the right answer. Right. Initially released in Japan for the Sega Dreamcast in December 1999, this title saw you controlling a reporter named Ulala as she grooves with aliens to save hostages forced to dance.
How do you know this?
Is it Space Channel 5 or something like that?
Yes.
Is that...
It is Space
Yeah.
Channel 5, yeah. Marvellous.
Damn. I let that one slip through my fingers. as well.
I have never played it.
I believe you, neither have I.
Okay, sticking with Space Channel 5 then.
Oh no.
Really? There are more questions on this?
Dave
I-
B's the expert, I don't know.
Yeah. Aaron, I do have it. But anyway, carry on.
Who subsequently launched a lawsuit against Sega, claiming they'd stolen her likeness for the Ulala character?
Is it
David
Is
B.
it Kate Pearson of the B-52s?
It is not Kate Pearson
I
from...
didn't think so.
Oh, I didn't want to press the button. I'm sorry.
Yes.
I suppose I could say, is it Core Dynamics or whoever made Lara Croft? But possibly, I'm gonna say, yeah, I'm gonna say that, and it's gonna be wrong, but I'm gonna say it anyway.
No, you're absolutely right. It is wrong.
Oh,
It's a woman. It's an actual woman who sued them, or a company sued them.
It is an actual woman who said that they'd stolen her likeness.
I don't know what she looks like. I'm gonna have to look up a picture of this person.
See, I know what
she
she looks
looks
like. She's
like-
got pink hair, so now I can't quite think.
I thought she looked like that Kate character from No One Lives Forever. I thought she looked like that.
Oh, yeah, actually, yeah, I can see that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I can see. Yeah, Kate Archer from
That's
No
the
One
one,
Lives.
yeah. But I
can
can't
see
think of
the
any other
likeness.
woman who looks like that. Liz Hurley? I don't know.
Lindsay Lohan? No.
I don't think
Okay.
she's alive
She's
then.
not
Okay, I've looked up the answer, and none of you are gonna get it.
It's Lady Miss Care from the band Delight.
Oh,
She claimed
okay.
Sega
I have
had
heard of her.
approached her to license her likeness, and after she rejected them, they still went ahead and used her likeness anyway. She lost the lawsuit and had to pay Sega's costs.
But it's okay, because in 2008, her single Groove is in the Heart was licensed for use in the Sega video game Samba de Amigo.
Absolutely right.
Ironically, appearing in a stage featuring Ulala.
That is
Yeah,
that is
that is quite interesting.
That's quite interesting.
Okay, and the last question of this round, not strictly speaking connected to 1999, but just for fun, how many E's are there in Delight?
3.
David Brown. That's incorrect.
Oh,
Four.
no.
Who was that?
Me.
There we go.
There you go.
Yes, yeah, indeed. Yes, there are 4. There are 3 in D, 1 in Light, and having seen the band, a sackful in the dressing room. Round 4 is only available to those listeners who pre-ordered Level Up from one of our select retail partners. For everyone else, here's some music. Well, that was tremendous. Lots of XP gains there, though I think I should probably apologise to Activision Blizzard CEO Bobby Kotick and remind listeners that the views of Hany Gohary do not necessarily represent the views of the Level Up production team. Round 5 is Some People Are on the Pitch, in which each of our players has 30 seconds to pitch a game without pause, resorting to video game cliches or direct comparisons to other titles. While they're delivering their pitch, the other players can buzz in at any time to challenge. So, we're going to start with David Brown on this one. And David, I would like you, for the next 30 seconds, to pitch to us Magic the Gathering.
Right, you've got this game, and it's all about cards. And you flip cards, and you exchange cards, and you use magical powers. And everyone loves Magic, and everyone loves gathering around a table to play them. But of course, you don't have a table in
We have a challenge.
Repetition of the word table.
I used table once.
No, because
I said game about a million times, but I think I only said table once.
This isn't Radio 4, and this isn't just a minute. If you want to sit there and say game for 30 seconds, it's more than welcome.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
So
Carry on
I
now.
think David Brown gets some bonus XP there for an incorrect challenge. Sorry, David, you can continue now.
And you're gathering around this table. That's the first time I've said it. And you can you throw cards at each other.
Didn't that just fly by?
Yeah.
Only one challenge and that was successful.
I think it failed to sell it to me as well.
Yeah, I think real Magic is only marginally more boring than that.
Yeah.
That's it. Well, no, David got through that and gets a big bucket of experience for that. Right, Hany, we'll come to you next. And I would like you to pitch Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate, please.
Have you ever been watching Walking with Dinosaurs and felt, man, I'd love to skin that and make a coat out of it and then some swords and shields and go and skin some more dinosaurs and fight dragons and have a little cat running around behind me offering me fish. And basically you can do that while running around and being hit by fireballs in the back, which is always fun.
Challenge.
He's running around a lot.
He is running around a lot. You're absolutely right.
Running around a lot.
You are running around while skinning dinosaurs. Obviously, they're really big, which is why you need to run from them.
You basically described every other video game ever made that didn't have a gun in it, though.
Are you objecting to it because it has guns?
It doesn't have a gun in it.
It doesn't have a gun in it.
It has a bow gun, which is a kind of gun.
You see, now I'd say you've gone back there. Not having a gun in it is an avoidance of a game cliche. I'd say saying it doesn't have a gun in it would actually be counter to what you're supposed to be doing in the challenge. If he said it did have a gun in it, you'd challenge it and say he's got a gun in it. All games have guns in them.
My first challenge was about running around a lot.
Yeah, and that's a fair challenge. I'll give you that one.
Good.
I'll give you that one.
Carry on.
Okay, well,
yes, Hany, carry on.
You mentioned guns. The weapons are going to be central to this game, and they are the main feature.
And that's your time. Well done. Can't believe nobody pulled you on fireballs.
That was me.
I don't like to put people up on their fireballs.
Amateurs. So yeah, Hany pretty much got through that pretty unscathed, other than his running around a lot.
I was desperately trying to find something to pull him up on.
You'll be thankful I didn't open with my favourite way of describing Monster Hunter to anyone by saying it's Pokemon for grown-ups, which would have allowed you to basically object to everything.
Right, Dave G. I'd like you to pitch to us Far Cry 3, please.
All right, so obviously this is the third game in the series. With this one, we're taking a slightly different route. We want to do something different. So what we're going to be looking at is...
Objection. Help.
What?
He said different twice.
Yes, I've already tried to call
You can say different. Again, repetition
when
isn't
I
an
did
issue. You
this.
can say difference as often as he likes.
He said different
Repetition
twice.
isn't an issue. It's fine. He can say he could spend 30 seconds just saying it's different. It's different. It's
I'm
different.
trying to be annoying. Yeah, go on.
It's
Oh,
fine,
fair
it's
enough.
fine. You're going to throw me off track. I've got this.
Carry on.
So yes, Dave G, do please continue.
Okay, so we're looking at trying to, you want to basically make your antagonist weep from a distance. So we're looking like you can do things like cutting onion, squirting lemon in his eyes from a distance. If you can get it accurate, then bonus points. So we want to move away from the old tired cliches of guns and shooting and mad people. So we think this will be actually something that people want to play, and of course we can liven it up. You can put him in a clown suit or whatever, and
That's it. You've made your 30
Yep,
seconds. Very
nothing,
good.
nothing to complain about there. I like the idea.
Antagonist?
I like that. I want to buy that game.
A game with an antagonist.
No, with squirting lemon juice in people's eyes.
Yeah, no, that
the
was all great
distance,
and
that's
original
good.
stuff, but still antagonist.
I was going to object to the
yeah.
fact that he mentioned moving away from guns, which just sounded like trying to gain points because you told Dave Brown he should have applauded a game which moved away from
I'm
guns.
trying to move. I deliberately put in there avoid video game cliches. Not only does it kill 1.3 seconds of time, but it also allows me to say, this isn't a video game cliche. And of course, it was a good pun on Far Cry.
Yeah, I think that's worth.
It was
some
a good
points.
pun on Far Cry, yeah.
That is worth
was
some
all right.
points. Yeah.
It was absolute genius.
Thank you.
So there you go. So it's time now for our final round, which is the deathmatch buzz around. General gaming knowledge questions, buzz in to answer, but get the question wrong, and you're fragged out, and we'll have to sit out the next question while you respawn. Here we go. Complete the sequence. Up, up, down, down, left, right. That's Dave G.
You said up, up, down, down, left, right.
I did.
Is it BA select start?
No.
Or is it left, right, BA select start?
I've got to take your first answer.
Oh, well.
Is it left, right, BA, select, start?
Nope.
Oh.
Wow, okay.
The answer, the complete sequence is up, up, down, down, left, right, BA. It's the Konami code.
Oh yeah. I knew that.
So for Dave B and Hany, name the town in the Silent Hill series.
You just made me pause there.
Is it Slough?
It's not.
Yes.
Okay, David sits out the next question.
Oh.
The answer to the name of the town in the Silent Hill series, the town is called Silent Hill.
It was a trick question. I paused then.
I knew the answer to that as well. You're all buggers.
Oh dear, and that was cruel of me, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Right, this is a good one. You'll like. This is a proper geek question. For Dave G and Hany, name the first games console to use an analog stick.
Well, it depends what you define as games console.
A console that you can play games on.
Oh, okay. Thanks.
It's not a trick question.
Help. I'm going to say N64 and just, yeah.
You know, that's, to be honest, mate, that's exactly what I was gunning for. That's the answer. If this was QI, that'd be the big buzzer going off in the background.
Is it the Atari 2600?
It's not, but that would be the second klaxon going
Yeah,
off.
it would, wouldn't it? It's probably the thing with the thing that you plug in. It's called the Intellivision or something. It's what you plug your.
No, it's not even that.
Oh.
It's not even that.
Wow.
You were never going to get this. This is a really horrible question, and I am a really, really nasty man. The first games console to use an analog stick was the 1292 Advanced Programmable Video System, a console manufactured by a number of companies, with the first being from Radofin in 1976. The console was manufactured in a variety of forms and names until 1979, and while all manufacturers' consoles were software compatible, each could alter the hardware so that game cartridges couldn't fit into a rival manufacturer's device.
I'm flipping you off from behind the screen.
Yeah, unsurprisingly, that's a piece of trivia I have not stored in my memory bank.
Yeah.
I
And
knew
I'm not
that.
going to store it. That's going out of my brain.
I knew that. That's the disappointing thing. No, I didn't.
Obviously, that question was deliberately designed to be cruel, so you're all back in for this one.
Excellent.
What is a MOBA?
Yeah.
David Brown.
Oh, multiplayer online battle arena.
I'll take your word for it.
But you don't actually know. You just kind of it was just pure
Just
curiosity.
asking. It's not part of the
I think.
I've seen it mentioned, and I was curious.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah, I think that's what it is.
Yes, he's
Is it?
correct.
It is. Okay, right. I've never played one.
Yes, examples being, of course, Dota, LoL, Heroes of Newer, Smite, effectively, even though it's kind of weird in third person and bizarre. Not Smite. Yes, Smite. Is it Smite?
I don't know.
No idea. None of us have played this.
No.
Dave G having a fully fledged conversation with himself there.
Confused myself with a little bit. There's a new one. Like S2 have released a new thing, and I can't remember what I should really have paid more attention.
Must do better.
Okay. Again, taking it, Dave got that right. So yeah, you're all still in. Following Fallout 3 being refused certification in Australia, which drug was renamed in the game to Med-X? Oh dear.
Is it-
Nobody?
I never played the game.
Yeah, just because you played it though doesn't necessarily mean you know what Med-X was supposed to be. No, Med-X was morphine. But the Australian classification didn't want any reference to any real world drugs, so they changed, rather than calling it morphine, they just changed the name to Med-X.
That I did not know.
There you go. So yeah, nobody got that, so you're all still in. Name the lead character in the Uncharted series.
Like both his names?
Go on, Hany.
Nathan Drake.
It is Nathan Drake. What kind of creature is Spyro?
Help.
It was close, but I think Hany just about got in there.
A dragon.
He is indeed a dragon. Lovely little purple dragon. And now an exploitative toy for children.
Yep.
Skylanders.
Bless them.
And in fact, the love child of 2 of the Team Fortress characters.
Yes.
Pod.
Yep. Spy and the Pirate.
Oh, very, very good.
I
Oh,
think you should get a bonus point for that.
absolutely bonus
Right.
points for
Well done.
As long as he doesn't,
For
as long as he
Dave
doesn't
G
put him
there.
ahead of me.
What game series features the characters Saber Wolf, Orchid, and
Help.
Fulgore?
Killer Instinct.
It is indeed. And our last question of the evening, but it's a big one. There have been 39 playable characters across the 7 home and handheld versions of Mario Kart and the 3 arcade versions, but only 6 characters have been available in all of them. Name them. David Brown.
Okay, go on then. So Mario, Luigi, that Princess Peach person. I don't know any of the characters from Mario.
Help. Actually,
That-
can't buzz in.
Hang on.
That green turtle thing.
Can I give his name, please? He's my
No,
favourite.
I think well, you got,
Is
you
it
got 3
Cooper,
there, Dave.
Cooper or something? Is that it?
No.
It depends. Sometimes they do call him King Koopa, but it's Bowser.
Oh yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
Well, to be fair, Hany buzzed in next. There's still 3
I'm
to
finished.
get. You had.
No, I hadn't.
Yeah, you had.
I don't know any
You
other
said-
characters.
You gave an incorrect.
Oh.
You gave an incorrect character,
Oh,
so
okay, then, right.
you're done. Yeah. Sorry. At that point, I do believe Hany did
Yeah, but
buzz
we
in.
can't
Sorry.
buzz in
to
this
take-
round, can we?
Yeah.
So it's just,
We'll carry on until I get all 6 or all 3 are
I'm
out. So
probably
if
going
you
to get one wrong now, but Mario, Luigi, Peach.
we've had Mario, Luigi, Princess Peach.
Yeah, Toad.
Yeah.
Yoshi
Yeah.
Is that the green one?
and Bowser. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, that was the last 3. Yeah. So yeah. Right. Scores time. Here we go. Right. In third place, still whacking rats in his leather pants, at level 13, is David Gower.
Yay!
Thank you.
Well done.
I'm here.
In second, with a full set of chainmail and a gleaming helmet, at level 17, is Hany Gohary.
Oh.
Ooh.
Oh.
Damn.
Which means our winner at level 18, wearing a full set of plate armor and wielding a +5 sword of being awesome, is David Brown.
Well done.
Well done.
All right, Magic. Well, all that remains is me to thank the 3 of you for taking part.
Yep.
Yeah,
No,
thanks for having us.
Our pleasure.
Level Up was presented by me, Kev Fairlong, and was a fairly whirly production.